The Marlins finally having their starting five. Maybe some prospects being called up this point, or maybe soon in the season. We're gonna in the segment, and in the second hour, we're gonna talk about what's going on in MLB baseball. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. We're gonna talk about what's going on, all this substance use, especially in that Cardinals game. I thought we were done with that. I thought we were done with all that type of stuff. Then we're gonna talk about the battle, the NL West. It's been heating up. The Giants have been extremely surprising. We're gonna get into that. Then we're gonna give our updates with our playoff predictions. Maybe has that changed? Have our picks stayed the same? And then we're gonna round off the episode with Christian Chase's farewell. But before we get into that, I don't want to get into that. We got a big show ahead of us. Christian, we're gonna talk about the Marlins taking care of business in their division this past week. We know they started interleague play yesterday against the Boston Red Sox, but before that, in their homestand against the Mets and Phillies, I'd say they got the job done for considering the circumstances they're going through.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the two series, right? I mean, two series at home against division rivals. Teams that want to make the playoffs are expected to win in those games,
right?
Even with the circumstances, right? The Mets came in very injured. They're falling apart. They're still in first place in the NL East, but they're definitely not the team that they could be, and that's definitely scary going forward. But for a Marlins team looking to succeed, you got to win that series. And they were really close to even sweeping the series, which is amazing. They lost that game one in a really, really tight ball game where I wouldn't say it was mismanaged, right? I believe we actually talked about this, the mismanagement on last Saturday's show, because that was Friday's game, I believe, the day before. And, when you have a bullpen day, you can't expect to go to extras, but that game definitely felt winnable. A lot of missed opportunities, and I was happy with the Marlins' ability to bounce back, win 2 games, to win that series, and then have Philly come in and, it just seemingly lose everyone on the roster. I mean, the starting lineup versus the Phillies in all 4 games just looked like, a AAA roster at most moments, and they still were able to take 2 of 4. It's not optimal, but for what was going on, I'm happy with it, right? I didn't expect anything more out of that. I don't think you could. As a fan or as anyone following the team.
Oh, as you can see, especially in that Phillies series, they were struggling after Game 1, scoring 9 runs. They lost 2-0, then won 4-2, and then lost 3-2. So they were struggling. They were struggling on offense. Even in that Mets series. They won the 2 games. They won 3-1. Yet in the second game they won 5-1, which is a bit better sign. But I agree with you, Christian. And then the tale is continuing. In this series against Boston. The Marlins lost yesterday 5-2, but it was an ugly game, in the rain. Those rain games are never fun, especially for the pitchers. The only mistake with Poteet was that slider he threw to Verdugo. He hung that. That was a 3-run shot in the 5th inning or 6th inning, I believe. And that was 5th inning, and that was the difference of the game. And the game was called short. It ended after 6 innings.
Yeah,
ugly game. But
we'll forget about that one.
Yeah.
I'm not like last night. I'm not too worried about. I took the night off from covering too much. I mean, I watched a little bit of the beginning, but I was a little worn out from my week. And from what I saw this morning when I went through and watched everything, you really can't control those circumstances playing in the rain. That's something the Marlins aren't used to, especially in a stadium where that is not an issue. And, in Boston against a really good Red Sox team, you can't expect to win that game, especially with, Cody Poteet. I mean, he's been great up to this point, but you got to expect him to falter a little bit, right? We're not talking Jacob deGrom level stuff out of this guy. So, stuff like that happens. These next 2 games are really important for the Marlins to bounce back. They play at 4:10 today and 1:10 tomorrow. They're 3 games under 500. If you leave this series 5 games under and maybe like 5 games back in the division, it's not optimal, right? I think you would definitely want to go into this next month in June where the Marlins have an easier schedule. 2-3 games under 500, 3 games out of the NL East first place. And then you're looking at a really good position. I mean, they have 2 games against Toronto, 4 in Pittsburgh, 3 in Colorado. Those 7 games are extremely crucial, to say the least. The Pittsburgh Pirates are awful.
Yes.
Just disgustingly bad at baseball. I mean, we'll talk about the play later with Javi Baez, but
yes, we definitely will.
I just like when I watched that, I was like, wow, like this is really a major league team that just did that. The Pirates are not good. You know, even if you're going into Pittsburgh, you got to win that series.
Right.
And then at home versus Colorado, who is not very good either. Speaking of Colorado, the Mets took advantage of their 4 games with them. I believe they won 3 of the 4. And that's an injured Mets team that the Marlins beat. You got to beat Colorado. Then you get into a little tougher, right? You got Atlanta, St. Louis, Chicago, all 3 really good teams. And that'll be a good test if the Marlins can do what they need to versus the teams that they should be beating, like splitting Toronto, winning 3 out of 4 in Pittsburgh, and sweeping the Rockies. You know, then you're looking at an above 500 team going into those games with a little bit more confidence. So it'll be exciting to see.
You're looking at an above 500 team, and you're looking at a team that's in the process of getting back Sixto Sanchez, Eliezer.
Yep.
They just got Marte last night for Boston. He got a base hit. It's a good sign to
And
see.
Alfaro who hit a 2-run homer.
Exactly. I was gonna, Alfaro, he's not gonna hit for average, but like he does have pop in his bat, and the Marlins need some of that pop right now because Jesus Aguilar, his bat's cooled off a bit after an incredible two or 3 week stretch he had. So it's not going to get any easier. You know, Marte's not going to just come back in and start hitting right away like he was before. He's got to get back into his groove. You know, Jazz is back, which is good. You know, and now the problem is now you get Marte, Jazz, Alfaro back. You take 2 steps forward, then you take 3 steps back because then you lose Anderson and Miguel Rojas. And you lose the left side of your infield right there. Solid left side of the infield. Rojas and Anderson are good defensively, you know, and let's not speak about let's speak about their offense, and let's not forget about their offense because BA was heating up. Miguel Rojas is a constant in that lineup. He's a spark plug. He's the leader. He's that soul of that team on and off the field. So his presence is still going to be felt. Obviously, you want to feel that on the field. And BA, it's a shame. It's a shame because this happens all the time, I feel, Christian, that his bat starts heating up and bam, something happens. Injury.
Something happens.
You know.
And he's out for like 3-4 weeks at this point. So
yeah, he might need surgery. I don't think they announced it yet.
This is not it's not an optimal position for the Marlins to be in. We've talked about it a lot, and I genuinely firmly believe that if the Marlins are healthy right now, they're the best team in the NL East. I know that's a bold statement, but I think it's true. When you have the pitching they do and a relatively solid lineup when everyone's healthy. And we've seen it. When the lineup is healthy, the Marlins score runs. When B.A., Garrett Cooper, Jesus Aguilar, Jazz Chisholm, Starling Marte are all in that lineup, you're in a good position to win. Especially with the 3 guys that the Marlins have going out every 3 nights, pitching just gem after gem after gem. The bullpen's been good.
Yes.
It's just this injury bug that's really hurt them. Every team has to deal with this. Luckily, the Marlins are in a situation where the Mets and the Phillies are both dealing with this at the same time. So they're not losing too much ground. They're only 3.5 back right now to the Mets, and only a game behind the Phillies and Braves. So, you know, you couldn't, even though this is happening and it's not great, we can all agree that the injuries are just terrible for the Marlins.
Yeah.
It couldn't have happened at a better time, right? With everything else that is going on in the division. Like if it had to happen, now is the good time for it to happen because the 2 of the 3 other teams that are competing with the Marlins for that first place spot are also going through it and losing at a higher clip than they normally would. So it does make you think about if the Marlins were healthy, where they would be right now. I would say, you know, probably 28-23, 27-24.
Right.
I think those players make that difference, and then you're in first in the division. But you can't expect that to happen. There's going to be injuries. It's how you deal with it. And to be honest, the Marlins have dealt with it extremely well up to this point.
They have. They've dealt with it extremely well thanks to their depth at pitching. Guys like Poteet, Neidert, Castano. The replacements, you know, the guys coming in doing their job, timely hitting with Cooper. Everyone is getting their turn to heat up, which is good in a way. But at the same time, I agree with you, Christian. The potential of this team is enormous because we've seen all these individual players like Cooper, Aguilar, Dickerson get on their individual hot stretches. Unfortunately, we haven't seen them put it all together, all of them being hot at the same time, being a complete lineup. You know, that's something hopefully we can start seeing, especially like I said, we talked about last week, June and July, the dog days of summer. That's when things start really getting interesting and heating up for divisions, especially like the NL East, which is extremely close. So
Yeah.
It's things are hopefully these players come back, they contribute. Like Marte, Alfaro. I expect them to do that. The rotation has been flawless. It's been amazing for what's going on with this team. Now the only problem is that some of these pitchers like Pablo Lopez need run support. That's what I'm talking about. The lineup being together and being healthy and being like complete. Because with that combined with the pitching, then they're getting their run support, giving them more confidence. They can get deeper into games. It all connects one way or another. And through what the Marlins have gone through, and to tell me that they're going to be 3 games under 500 only at this point in the season, and be right in the thick of things in their division, Christian, I'm starting to tilt a little bit, thinking, hey, the Marlins might have a shot here. That wild card spot looks that opening for that wild card spot looks a little bit bigger now, as the season progresses a little bit more. We'll see, obviously, when we get to the All-Star break, but I'm tilting a little bit more to that side now, Christian. You're convincing me a little bit more now, a little bit more.
There's a lot of positives, right? I mean, there's definitely negatives, right?
Right.
But it's I find it easier to look at the positives and say, you know what? I see everything, as a fan of the Marlins, because I am, as much as I try to be unbiased in what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm still, a diehard fan of the Marlins, and I like to see things in the positive trend. Positivity got us through the dark years, right? That eventually there'd be some kind of growth. We've seen the growth. They're here. They made the playoffs last year. And even if the things don't figure out with the injuries, right, this year, and they continue to stay injured, there's always next year. Everyone's a year older, more developed. Jazz is in his second year. Sandy has another year under his belt of dominance. Pablo looks even better. Trevor Rogers is even more confident. There's always more time, especially with the ages of the respect of this team right now. So, it's not an optimal situation at the moment, but there's so much to look forward to. And it could even be this season that we see that success. And if it's not this season, it's going to be the next season or the next season, because this team will find a way to succeed. The question is just when, at the moment, in my eyes.
All right. That sounds good, Christian. And when we come back after these messages, we're going to talk about the NL East. The NL East and how has been a plate of hot garbage. So you're listening to OnsideRadio.com.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody-Ass family. Dr. Moody-Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
In July, another bare-knuckle battle goes down. July 16th as BYB Extreme showcases another fight card at Hard Rock Hollywood. As we get ready for another bare-knuckle battle, let's find out more about the fighters, like the Hialeah champ, Rene White Boy Rodriguez. Rene is one of the original backyard brawlers at Dada 5000's Greenhouse. The YouTube sensation stands 5'11", 185 pounds, and stands with an undefeated record of 13-0. White Boy is a YouTube sensation who represents Hialeah and is ready for the Trigon Challenge. The Trigon, the smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Rene's experience stretches from MMA to the backyard. Don't miss Rene White Boy Rodriguez as he faces Matt Delanoid in the semifinal round of the 185-pound championship tournament. Don't miss BYB 6 live at Hard Rock Hollywood July 16th. Watch it on stonefaces.tv. BYB is proudly sponsored by BMCHam.com. BMCHam.com. Your choice for gold and silver. Are you ready?
Guayin had a window, but leaves it here for Morgan. In for some strike. It's into the top corner. And Lewis Morgan has got a brace again.
The passion.
Goal! Captain Morgan! What a shot! What a blood! What a missile!
Onside Radio is prepared for another Inter Miami CF campaign. Catch the games. Go to our website and download the apps. On your home for La Rosa Negra, OnsideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Let's step back into the batter's box with Alex and Christian. To reach out to the guys, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back deep into the count on OnsideRadio.com.
The question is not when it's going to stop, but who is going to stop them.
And we're back here deep in the count at Drive Pink Stadium, coming to you live at Onside Radio. Final programming here on Saturday. Guys, Big O's doing a great job casting a wide net, trying to get as many people to listen to Onside Radio. And that's why you can download free apps from radio.net, Podbean, Radio FM, MyTuner Radio, Simple Radio, and Zeno Radio. It's all there for you guys to listen to. Christian and I, Austin Brobillard, Toasted Sports, Man of the Match, the Onside Zone, so much programming here at Onside Radio, all for you guys. But now we're going to get into some more Marlins talk. And we're going to talk about, like I said, closing out the first segment, the piece of hot garbage that is the National League East. Christian, what the hell is going on with these teams? We thought this was going to be a mission just to get to 500, a mission just to compete with these teams. And I'm not saying they're rollovers, but this has been a complete disappointment in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, we expected this team to be really, really good, right?
Right.
I mean, going in, we were like, this is the best division in baseball.
Right.
They're going to compete. It's going to be, the Phillies, the Marlins, the Mets, and the Braves, and maybe even the Nationals fighting at the top, maybe even fighting for a wild card spot. And here we are in the dog days of May, and the NL East is arguably the worst division in baseball. I don't really know what happened. I mean, I think you can point towards maybe the Mets would be like 10 games over 500 if they weren't injured. Maybe the Marlins would be 5 games over 500 if they weren't injured.
Right.
Maybe the Phillies would be 5 games over 500 if they weren't injured.
Or their bullpen
maybe
didn't suck.
The Braves would be, good if their starting pitching was better.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many ifs with the division. It's the only division where I really feel like I don't have a grip on where it's going to go.
Right, and we're going to get into our predictions, our division breakdowns in the second hour. But yeah, that's a good topic right there, Christian. That Christian and I, we don't have a clear-cut favorite right now on who's going to be the winner of this division when it's all said and done. Right now, there's a lot of question marks, like you said, a lot of ifs, and ifs are not a good thing in anything. If this, if that, and I want to talk about the Nationals a little bit here because, everyone was always talking about the Braves and look at all the money the Mets spent. But the Nationals are only a couple of years removed from a World Series title, and they made pretty good acquisitions in the offseason with Josh Bell, Kyle Schwarber, especially the Bell move. I like Bell. Bell's a good hitter. He's a switch hitter. He's an all-star. Schwarber, he's gonna give you power. He's, I think, a liability on defense. He's an American League player in my eyes. He's a DH. He can barely play left field. You know, especially earlier in his career with the Chicago Cubs, it was bad. It was ugly in left field. But you need his bat in that lineup for sure. So I understand that, especially in today's day and age when no one cares if you go 1 for 4 with 3 Ks. As long as you hit that 2-run shot, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So they made moves, the Nationals, and you made a good point here, Christian, with Strasburg and Scherzer back.
Yeah.
Do you think the Nationals? I'm not gonna say just go on a tear here and just run through the division, but you think the Nationals, with getting those 2 horses back, their 2 horses or 2 aces, can they make a run at this division?
Yes, I've heard a lot of news on the Nationals lately. Like when anyone like from any website or media outlet talks about the NL East, right? The narrative is the same. The Braves are underperforming, the Mets are injured, the Phillies are injured, the Marlins are overperforming and injured.
Yeah.
Right? And then finally there's like the Nationals, and they refer to them as just the worst team in the division.
No,
but
I don't see
that. To
be
completely honest with you, I don't know how that became the narrative. They won a World Series 2 years ago. They're a very similar team, right? I mean, you have Juan Soto, who is – I know he's not underrated, but, I mean, that guy is – I mean, if I were to choose a guy to start a team with out of anyone in the major leagues right now, Juan Soto would be at the top of my list.
Yeah.
Phenomenally defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously an amazing bat in the lineup, and just the swagger and everything. I'm honestly shocked he wasn't in the top 4 for most swag in baseball on MLB's poll on Thursday. But the Mets have, or I'm sorry, the Nationals have Steven Strasburg, Max Scherzer, and when they're healthy, they're dominant, right? And they have Trey Turner, who's another star. I just don't get where that narrative became. This team is worse than every other team in the division, maybe from last year when they really underperformed. But they're only 4 games under 500 right now. They're a half game back of the Marlins and only 4 back in the division. I think the Nationals are a lot better than people are giving them credit for, and I do think they're a dark horse to maybe come out of this division just with how poor it's been.
Yep.
Right? I like the Nationals. I always have. I think when you have Trey Turner and Juan Soto and Josh Bell in a lineup and Scherzer and Strasburg pitching, you win games, right?
And don't forget Corbin. You got 3.
And Corbin severely underperformed this year. I mean, his spin rate is down immensely since the start of last year. And if he finds a fix, right, he gets back to the really quality guy he is. We talk about the Marlins 3-man rotation of Trevor Rogers, Sandy Alcantara, Pablo Lopez, right?
Right.
But if Strasburg, Scherzer, Corbin are pitching at their best, right? Just how Sandy, Pablo, and Trevor are right now. I hate to say it, but I'm taking Strasburg, Scherzer, and Corbin.
I will.
And then they also have the bats in the lineup. It just makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not like I'm not saying the Nationals are the best team in the world, but I'm not saying. But I definitely am saying that they have full capability to go on a run. They've done it before. They were under 500 for the first half of the season. They won a World Series. And then went on one of the most historic runs in MLB history.
Exactly.
And this is basically the same team.
You can't count them out. Strasburg and Scherzer, they're established. You know what you're going to get from them. So that's why I'm saying, like, there's a lot of season left, a lot of ball left in this season. So nothing is guaranteed for sure with this division, at least. For other ones, you can tell where things are heading, who's going to continue winning games, who's going to go off a little bit, maybe hit plateau a little bit. And Christian, as we're rounding this segment off, we got a few minutes left. A game for the rest of the season. Are they going to continue winning? Who's going to fall off? Who's just going to stay, right there at the same, like around 500? What do you think these 3 teams are going to go as we close things off here?
I think the Mets, when they get healthy, will be first place in the division by far. Mm-hmm. With elite starting pitching coming out of them with Stroman and DeGrom. And then they also have the back end of the bullpen with Edwin Diaz. And other guys like him, and just like the lineup, the Mets, in my opinion, are the best best bet to win this division if they get healthy. Again, they have to get healthy. The Braves are really good, right? Like we talked about it. I don't know what's wrong with the Braves. I mean, they're the same team as last year. They added Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
And the pieces just aren't coming together. I think the Braves have the highest upside out of any of these teams. We know what they can do. They have MVP talent all over the field. Their bats are phenomenal. Their pitching can be phenomenal. It hasn't been. So if the arms start to get better, we can see them make a run. I think out of the three, the Phillies will be the worst of the bunch because when you get later into the season, when you get into games that matter, your bullpen wins games, your bullpen loses games. And when your bullpen against the Marlins of all teams, no hate to the Marlins, but right. When you're allowing 10 earned runs in 12 innings pitched in a 4-game series out of your bullpen, or it was like 15 innings pitched, 11 runs or something.
That's no good.
It's just not going to be sustainable. And regardless of if the Phillies get healthy, I don't think you'll see them in the postseason. But I think the teams that have the biggest chances are the Mets and Braves, with the Marlins and Nationals kind of being dark horses.
I agree with you there. And guys, next segment, we're going to talk about a little more about the Marlins and how their rotation is finally taking form, rounding things off here. So that's going to be it for this segment. Great talk about the NL East with Christian. And guys, don't forget, every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m., catch Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. It's a show dedicated to combat sports, from UFC to boxing to bare-knuckle brawling. Alex and James provides combat sports fans the insight and interviews they crave. Tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. Search and subscribe to the podcast by searching Fight Night on the home for combat sports, OnSideRadio.com.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep Into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Hey, it's Toast, and no doubt last year hurricane season was one of the craziest we've ever seen. Well, Noah's saying once again, going to be another active season. So you need to call B&T Windows and Doors today and get PGT custom windows and doors installed like I did so that you are fully protected. Listen, there's no better peace of mind than PGT custom windows and doors when you're in the cone of death for a Category 5 storm. Call B&T Windows and Doors today to get set up. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split second, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling the disease today is even greater. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. United by hope, we can end breast cancer. Join our fight. Save lives.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
Every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., listen to Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard, brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world. Stout Bar features Clonakilty Whiskies, the world's best Irish whiskey.
Welcome back to Deep Into the Count. To reach out to the boys, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Alex and Christian.
And we're back here deep in the count. What a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Fort Lauderdale. Drive Pink Stadium at 8 p.m. Inter Miami will be taking on DC United in front of a full capacity crowd. What a sentence. Wow, full capacity. Never thought we were going to be saying that. But guys, we're back here in deep in the count for more Marlins talk. The Marlins are in a series right now against the Boston Red Sox. They play today at 4:10, little afternoon baseball, and then tomorrow some earlier afternoon baseball against the Red Sox at 1:10. And right now the Miami Heat just started. Tip-off was a few minutes ago for Game 4 against the Milwaukee Bucks. They're leading right now 10-6. With 7:19 left in the first quarter. It's a bit of a slow start offensively as usual, but for the Heat as usual. But it's good that their defense is picking up a bit, and right now limiting the Bucks to 6 points, and playing pretty good defense against Giannis. So hopefully that he can come out with a victory here and make this somewhat of a series. There's a lot of fight in that team. They're a lot better than what they've shown, that's for sure.
Hey, just don't get swept.
Don't
right?
get
That's
swept.
The mentality.
Don't get swept. You're a lot better than that. Put up a fight. I get it. The Bucks have improved a lot and made some good acquisitions in the offseason. And in this season getting P.J. Tucker as well. But the Heat are a lot better than what they've shown the first 3 games. And the Marlins, they're better as well than what they've shown offensively the past few games as well. As we said, they're missing a few key guys. They got a couple key guys back with Marte and Alfaro. Hopefully that'll be a big jump as well with Jazz back as well. But we're going to gear things towards the pitching side now. We talked a bit about the offense and getting guys back in the lineup in the first segment. Now in this segment, we're finally going to have a chance to see the potential 5-man rotation that we talked about, Christian, prior to the season starting in spring training before the Sixto injury and Hernandez getting hurt. The potential 5-man rotation, in my eyes, was going to be Sandy, Pablo, Trevor, Sixto, and Hernandez. Not in that order, but that was the pitching rotation I expected once spring training was going to end and the season was going to start. Obviously, things happen. Injuries happen. Players, don't perform up to expectations. So we've been seeing a lot of, the 4th and 5th slot have been a rotation of different guys. Castano, Neidert, now Poteet. But before Sixto comes back, Eliezer's going to come back. So, Christian, let me ask you this. This potential 5-man rotation before Sixto, Poteet, Sandy, Eliezer, Pablo, and Trevor Rogers, or T-Raw, as you like to call him.
T-Raw.
T-Raw. What do you think about that 5-man rotation, even without Sixto?
Even without Sixto, that 5-man rotation is phenomenal, right? I mean, Eliezer is probably, in my eyes right now, a really classic 3-man.
Yeah.
And you really have him in the 4-hole, right? And then Poteet is a 5 until Sixto can come back. We know what the first 3 guys can do. Sandy Alcantara has been, outside of that 1 inning in Los Angeles, has been absolutely dominant, right? The changeup is disgusting. The fastball has even more movement on it. His spin rate is continually rising. And what's even more impressive to me is that he's going deeper into games. Normally hard-throwing pitchers can't throw strikes a lot of the time, lose that command. But it seems even when Sandy is struggling, the dude over his past few starts has gone 7, 8 innings, right? I believe in his last start he went 8, which is what you need out of an ace to go those long innings.
Yeah.
Sandy Alcantara is getting better and better with time. Even though his ERA isn't, in as low as Trevor Rogers is, with taking out that Dodgers inning, his ERA is probably down in the low 2s, which is dominant level stuff. I mean, everyone has that one inning though. Pablo Lopez, who we all thought was probably like going to be maybe the 3rd, 4th man on this rotation, in my eyes has really solidified himself as the 3-man. And, if he was on any other rotation, maybe even an ace or a number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy just continues to pitch really well, even in games where he doesn't have his best stuff, right? It's good enough to win games, right, if the bats perform. He's been really, really good, and we all know Trevor Rogers, just blowing all of our minds. He's definitely in the lead for NL Rookie of the Year. In my opinion, he's top 5 in the NL Cy Young voting, right? Or should be top 5 in the NL Cy Young voting right now, if not 6th or 7th.
Definitely.
Just with how dominant pitchers have been this year, it's hard to make that distinction at times. But when you have those 3 guys, it's phenomenal. If you have Eliezer back as a guy who should be a 3, pitching as a 4 or a 5, it just shows the depth of this rotation. And when Sixto's back, you never know. He could be even better than Trevor Rogers and be the ace of this team. That's the kind of stuff Sixto Sanchez has. So it's exciting, right? We talked about the positivity and looking forward, and these 5 guys are the reason that there's the positivity.
Yes. Yeah.
The bats are good enough. These guys are elite. This is what makes a playoff and World Series championship team, when you can go out every night and know that you have a chance of winning. And these guys do it every night.
It's true. And how did the Marlins make the postseason? Those two, in 97-03, they got names in their lineup, but they got there with their pitching. That's what carried them to the postseason, especially against big teams, big, powerful lineups. The pitching got them through it with timely hitting. And that's what this team is, in a way, that formula. You get guys on base, we're not going to try to hit the home run, the 3-run shot. We're not that type of team. We're going to try to move guys over, try to drive them in base hits, base to base, keep the chain moving. So that's their way. And then you combine that with elite pitching. Your first 3 guys for sure are elite, with Sixto coming back, Sandy and Trevor, and then you're gonna just sprinkle in there Pablo Lopez and now Cody Poteet and Eliezer Hernandez. Come on, the Marlins are in good shape. Hopefully it pans out the way we want it to, and Sixto's gonna come back. We expect late June, early July, around there in that part of the summer, and Christian, Don Mattingly is gonna have a decision on his hands, and a good one, good problem to have. Cody Poteet, hopefully from here to Sixto's return, is still pitching to how he's been, going 5 to 7 innings solid. He's not, he's making solid plays, solid pitches, and quality pitches, and he's taking the stress off the bullpen, because you throw in a guy like that. I'm not trying to diminish what he's been doing, but let's be real here. Those starts with Neidert, Castano. You have to brace yourself for a 3-4 inning start maybe, and then the rest is a bullpen game, and then you're kind of burning them out. So it's great to see a guy like Cody go deep into games, but then when Sixto comes back and Cody's still pitching fairly well, and Eliezer's back already at this point, then Don Mattingly has a decision to make. Christian, what does he do with Poteet?
So we kind of discussed this when we were talking about what we were going to talk about on this show, and I think the first thing to point out is that when Sixto comes back, if Eliezer, Sixto, Sandy, Pablo, and Trevor are all healthy, you lose the need for Daniel Castano and Nick Neidert, right? That they've been the spot start guys, with the rotation at one point, being really only 3 dudes between Sandy, Pablo, and Trevor. They came up and they gave those spot starts. They would go 3-4 innings. You'd have to have 5 innings of bullpen work. It just really, really not a good situation overall. But with this emergence of Cody Poteet, we all know Cody Poteet is not an ace-level pitcher.
Right.
But he's a solid arm. And when you have 5 guys and that 6th solid arm, you can either make the case – Castano and Neidert go to AAA.
Right.
That's certain. But you can make the case Poteet also goes to AAA. But then you wonder, well, Cody Poteet is definitely a major league arm, right? He's proven that to us. Do you it leaves the door open for a lot of options. Do you put him in the bullpen as a long relief guy? Because he can definitely do that. The Marlins don't really have that role figured out yet. Do you maybe keep him as the 5 and maybe package Eliezer in a trade because he probably has more trade value and maybe get another bat. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, but there's that option available now when you have that extra depth. Or even I don't think you want to package Sandy, Pablo, or Trevor or Sixto. So Eliezer would be probably the name that I would choose out of the 5. But it gives you that flexibility, which is something the Marlins haven't had in a while, especially on the pitching end of things. Even recently, with how good everyone's been, there's been a lot of quality, but not a lot of quantity. So, when Sixto and Eliezer are back, that changes, and it provides problems. But as you said, they're good problems to have, which is good for the Marlins overall, I would say, as long as they handle it right, which I trust Kim Ng and Derek Jeter to do the right thing.
And one aspect that we forget as well, we need to mention that when some of these pitchers come back, less stress on the bullpen, they can get deeper into games. And, it's going to be great because now we're entering those. The bullpen has been used a lot. So, Christian, rounding things off here, how let's talk about a bit here how this will benefit the bullpen. Guys are being used a lot right now. Sixto coming back, he has shown that he can go 5 or 6, maybe even 7. Eliezer has the potential to do that as well. So adding those guys and unfortunately, setting those guys like Neidert and Castano down, you're adding more depth with pitching, going deeper into games, relieving some of that bullpen, the stress, and finally, setting roles for that team. If you have every starter going 5 or 6 innings every game, then you're establishing roles within that bullpen instead of, okay, what's going on here? Our starter will only win 3 innings today. Now we got to, make a masterpiece out of this bullpen. And that's tough sometimes to do that, 3 or 4 times in a week. But guys, we're going to close out this hour here, Christian and I. We're going to close it out with some prospect talk. We're talking about Lewin Diaz, Jesus Sanchez, Edward Cabrera, and some other names that maybe you haven't heard in the Marlins minor league system that are making a big impact and could make a big impact in the future for this team. And guys, don't forget that every day at Onside Radio, our hosts sit down at the round table to tackle the most important local or national sports headlines. The round table is podcasted daily. Search Onside Radio on all platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review to listen to all kinds of station segments. OnsideRadio.com is the home for South Florida sports.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
Hey, it's Toast. Last year when I had PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house by B&T Windows and Doors, I knew about the hurricane protection. What I didn't know? The silence. Oh my goodness, my house is so quiet now. One of those cars goes tearing down the street with the crazy loud muffler. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. It's unbelievable. I didn't realize how noisy my house was beforehand. You've got to get PGT custom windows and doors installed in your pad today. Call B&T Windows and Doors, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're Michael.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
BYB Extreme Fighting presents BYB 6, Friday, July 16th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood. 10 bare-knuckle brawls in BYB's patented triangle ring, the Trigon. The smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Catch Renee Hialeah Champ Rodriguez against Mad MF Delanois, Christine Knuckles Stanley, and many more bare-knuckle brawlers. Beat Dada 5000. Commentators Mike Goldie Goldberg and Paulie Malignaggi. Friday, July 16th at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. BYB 6.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At chaseroofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. Chaseroofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust chaseroofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
Welcome to the show with a couple of guys that love baseball more than life. It's pretty obvious these gents have no lives. Let's get back to Deep Into the Count. To step into the dugout, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Here's Alex and Chase.
Closing out the first hour here in Deep in the Count. I'm Alex Aguirre, and I'm joined, unfortunately for the last time, Christian Chase. Closing out the first hour here. And Christian, I want to pick your brain here for this last segment on some prospect talk. We saw Lewin Diaz. He got called up because the Marlins are practically fielding a B squad at this point, Christian. All these injuries, it pretty much means, a lot of these guys got to be called up. Jose Devers, now we see Lewin Diaz. Christian, talk to me. What are some names, with all these injuries piling up, and maybe also when we get deeper into the season as well, who knows, what are some names, pitchers or position players, and who do you think is going to be called up and, to try to make an impact on this team?
There's a lot of names out there, right? Marlins are deep in prospects, which is good. Lewin Diaz getting a shot is good. I mean, it's not like he did much with that. I mean, he made a nice play at first in his start at first base, but didn't really do anything on the offensive end of things, which I feel like is what you're looking for, right? I think the Marlins' best products are probably on the pitching end of things, right? You got Edward Cabrera, you got Jake Eater, who's been rocking out in AA. Really a sub-2 ERA down there. He has looked good. I've had the privilege of watching a few of his games on the mound, and he looks really, really solid. And I think that the luxury of pitching in the majors right now, when Sixto, when Eliezer are back, will prevent them from being called up. But I do think there's the argument that later in the season, if the Marlins are struggling and they can't put the pieces together, I genuinely believe you got to call Jesus Sanchez up. I mean, like I get he doesn't play first base, and that's where the role was needed when Lewin Diaz was called up. But Lewin Diaz was hitting like 220 in AAA this season. Jesus Sanchez is hitting above 500. Like if you see the upside there, you want him there. I think Jesus Sanchez is a name you want to see. I know we talk about JJ Bleday. I'm not sold that he'll be called up unless the Marlins are really out of it. Especially just with the outfield depth that the Marlins have when everyone's healthy. So
right.
I think if you do call up a bat, it'll be Jesus Sanchez. The Marlins have that luxury, and that's again why there's a lot to look forward to.
Right.
But I'm not sure that there will be too many call ups in the near future if the Marlins are competitive. I think you could see them deal maybe some of those prospects for a piece at the trade deadline. Not sure who would be, like who they would trade, but you could see them deal if they're in it. Like if they're only 3 games back at the trade deadline, I think you got to make a move like you did last year to get Starling Marte.
Definitely, they got to make a move. I agree with you in the sense that the Marlins need to be active if they're in that, and they're in there. If they're in the wild card race, they're still in the playoff hunt. They got to make a move, and they did it last year. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, they're going to be nickel and diming everything. No. They made it. The Marte was a great trade. It was a great move. I liked it a lot. And if they do something like that again for another similar bat, that's that's kind of what the Marlins are right now. They're not going to make big splashes. They're going to make lower tier moves like that, like Adam Duvall, Starling Marte, Corey Dickerson, bats like that. And speaking of Jesus Sanchez a bit, as we close things out here in the first hour of Deep in the Count, Christian, Jesus Sanchez, you talk about first base a bit. He's an outfielder, plays corner outfield, right field. It's a big. If he gets called up, are you saying you're gonna put him at first, because maybe put him in right field, Cooper at first base, but then you got that Aguilar situation. So maybe a trade comes into play at the deadline to give Sanchez maybe these at bats, Cooper or Aguilar. I don't know, one of these two, but Aguilar can definitely be a candidate to trade for, especially for an actual, for sure, bona fide playoff team that needs an extra bat. Christian, so what do you think about Jesus Sanchez maybe changing positions just to get at bats?
I mean, why not, right? They did it with Garrett Cooper. I mean, then again, where are you changing that position to? First base, right? But you got Garrett Cooper and Jesus Aguilar already platooning there.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he would be, he would have to go into, if he was going to fit in the puzzle, it would have to be in the outfield. Obviously, when everyone's healthy on the Marlins, I'm still, regardless of how good Jesus Sanchez has been, if the Marlins are in it, I'm taking Corey Dickerson, Adam Duvall, and Starling Marte in the outfield.
Yeah.
So that makes it a tough situation because, even on days where one of those guys needs a day off, you just put Garrett Cooper out there and everything's okay. So it's not like they're in a need of that position. That's why I'm skeptical that he'll be called up, and that's probably why he hasn't been called up yet. We've talked about the idea of a trade being made with one of those outfielder pieces. If he has trade value, maybe Adam Duvall in the NL and RBIs, he could definitely have some value if the Marlins want to pitch him for a relief arm, and then you can put Jesus Sanchez out there and maybe not lose too much.
Right.
So
Christian, I'm sorry to cut you off there. We got to cut to break now. But guys, don't forget that sport fans can always catch up with all your daily segments by subscribing to Onside Radio on most platforms. Listen to us discuss the hottest topics on the roundtable. Esports fans get the latest with our E-Minute. Panthers fans reporter David Dwork provides great insight. Austin Robillard covers Inter Miami CF with kind of passion supporters group crave. And Christian and I provide the insight Marlins fans deserve. Subscribe, rate, and review to Onside Radio on all platforms, the station that has the passion South Florida fans deserve.
Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard was brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world and a great place to root on Inter Miami CF. Clonakilty Whiskies, the world's best Irish whiskey. If you missed part of the show, make sure you download it on most platforms. Search Red Card Radio.
No wimpy corporate-led radio station here. You're listening to the only station in South Florida that truly gives you a voice. OnSideRadio.com. When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Ballad Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast, and I've been telling you guys all about my buddies over at B&T Windows and Doors. And some of you said, hey, listen, Toast, I'd love to get PGT custom windows and doors installed, but funds are a little tight right now. No problem, bro. Y Green. You can finance it with B&T Windows and Doors through Y Green, so you can still get your PGT custom windows and doors installed. And yeah, you're not going to have to put anything down. It's awesome. That's the way I got mine installed. Call B&T Windows and Doors today. They'll tell you all about Y Green and how to finance your windows. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your On-Side Radio E-Report with Kai Chen Chisholm.
It feels like it's becoming a weekly thing, but congratulations are in order to 100 Thieves as they have brought in yet another female content creator to their team, welcoming in Fuslie, also known as Leslie. She comes in after being yet another signee for 100 Thieves in the community and bringing on women streamers. Fuslie's popularity grew, as did Among Us. As the game grew, she grew, and along with a lot of people on the offline TV roster and then just the friends and community they've built, she started to gain a very, very large platform on Twitch. Fuslie already joins a very talented group of female content creators for 100 Thieves, featuring Brooke AB, Kaide, Valkyrie, and Nico Lowell, with Valkyrie coming in as a co-owner and wanting to seemingly bring on a lot of female streamers as well. I wouldn't be too shocked if a lot more come along. Congratulations in order to Fuslie.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the On-Side Radio E-Report.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of On-Side Radio ownership, management, sponsors, websites, or Inter Miami Marketing, LLC.
On-Side Radio presents Deep Into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. From traditional to analytical, shifting to stealing, the boys talk about the all-American game through different lenses. To reach out to the show, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Slide in by text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Let's get started with this week's edition of Deep Into the Count.
Play ball.
Hour number 2, leading off here from Deep in the Count. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Drive Pink Stadium. I'm your host for Deep in the Count, Alex Aguirre, and with me is my co-host, my partner in crime, Christian Chase. Christian, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Oh, man, it was a good hour.
A
lot of fun Marlins talk. I'm excited, though, to get a lot of good stuff has happened in the MLB across the league this week. So
yes.
I'm excited to get into that.
And we are, a little quick update right now with the Miami Heat. They are leading the Milwaukee Bucks 33-24 with 10.5 left in the second quarter. Good game so far, very physical. A lot of pushing and shoving going on in the first half. But you know, these two teams are physical, and the Heat, they're gonna, with their backs against the wall, they got to do whatever they can just to come out with a game, come out with at least one game. But getting into some MLB talk, Christian, we had a foreign substance issue going on. Now, I don't know if you guys seen the movie Major League with Charlie Sheen and Tom Berenger. Charlie Sheen plays a young pitcher, a fireball pitcher, electric fastball, and there's a veteran on the team pitcher, and he rubs Vaseline on the ball, puts hot sauce in his nose. You know, He has all these creams and ointments on his body, so he just touches himself to put it on the ball. And it always reminds me of that. Always reminds me of that character of just using whatever he can find to put a little extra couple inches on his curveball and the drop of the curveball and whatnot. But Christian, I don't understand what's going on with Major League Baseball and the cheating. And, I get it with the trash cans like technology, but this substance stuff, really? Come on now.
Well, the thing is, everyone's doing it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this in a sense with the technology. And the thing with the technology is that, there's an argument that is anti-baseball, right? Because baseball is meant to be a game played on the field. And when you do that external stuff, yes, that is probably a little too much, right? But with the foreign substances, we're not talking about steroids in this case. A guy wasn't caught using steroids on the Cardinals. He was caught using pine tar.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever it was on his hat. And it just feels wrong to, use that to get an advantage when your guys are probably using that same stuff as well.
Right.
I forget who came out and made the quote about it. The name of the player is slipping me, so I apologize on that. But in an interview, he was like, when talking about the success of pitchers this year, he described it like the balls are ripping out of the pitcher's hand because there's so much pine tar on it. And we've seen that with the increased spin rates, right? If you go into the data, you can see for example, Trevor Bauer, who was the NL Cy Young last year.
Right.
He has seen a consistent over the past 3 years increase in his spin rate, which isn't possible normally. You can't just do that, especially to the increase that he's seen. But the thing with Trevor Bauer is he's honest. He's like, yeah, I'm using the substances. He'll be straightforward with it, right?
Right.
But with other guys, you actually can't see those increases because they've been doing it for years.
And
they have the same spin rates because it's been consistent. They've been using this stuff for years on years and years and generations on generations and generations. So I'm just not a big fan of these moments where you use it to get an advantage in a game or the umpires call it out on one guy and then turn the blind eye to the rest of everyone using foreign substances. It's just ridiculous. I'm all for foreign like pine tar and excessive amounts of it. How are you going to stop that? And also, it's not something that damages the game, in my opinion. So
yeah, I don't think it damages the game.
That's my take on it. I mean, maybe you see it another way, and that's fair, but
I don't think it damages the game. I just think that what are you trying to prove? I get it. There are a lot more home runs being hit. But does the pine tar, does all this stuff actually gonna help? I get it with your spin rate and stuff, but it's why? It's why? It's kind of, I see Michael Pineda a couple years ago when he was with the Yankees, had the pine tar on his neck, and it's just trying to hide it, and I'm just and you see it people get the rosin, John Curtis gets the rosin bag and he just puts it all over the back of his cap. And so then when he wipes his hand on his cap, I get all that stuff. That's fine. I'm okay with him using it. It's just but it's are you that much at a disadvantage as a pitcher when you're in the major leagues that you have to be resorting to this stuff? That's what brings up the question marks for me. But them doing it if you get caught, you get caught. But I'm not surprised at all. They've been doing that since the beginning of the game practically. Whatever your sweat. That's why it's a rule that when you lick your finger to get grip on the ball as a pitcher, you have to swipe. You have to swipe on your clothes or wherever to make it seem like. Yeah. But when you see the pitchers do it, they lick their hand or finger or whatever, and they swipe. It's like a half-ass type of swipe. It's kind of whatever, just following the rules.
Let me paint you a hypothetical about it real quick.
Sure, please.
I was talking with my one of the people I'm working, one of the professors I work with on my thesis, which is on baseball analytics, and we were talking about this event with the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. It came up in conversation. And he has a long history of success, but many articles on Fangraphs, has created a lot of amazing data points for baseball. So he knows what he's talking about. And we were talking about the idea of these foreign substances, right? And how you get more grip on the ball. So we were talking about a hypothetical situation in which, because there's millions of dollars on the line, right? And people are going to do a lot of things for millions of dollars, right? I mean, it's clear. What if there's nothing in the rule book that prevents a pitcher from going and getting genetically modified fingers that grip the ball better? How anyone can take advantage of that, and because it's not a foreign substance and no foreign substances were used, it's a loophole. And then the next thing you know, you're rocking spin rate that you would get with excessive amounts of pine tar with just your normal fingers. And what can be said about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was a really dope hypothetical.
It's true. And that's why I feel like it's going to continue. Major League Baseball is not going to call like an investigation or any. No. This has been going on for years. It's going to keep on going. And you get caught one day, okay, whatever. Okay, I'll stop doing it for a couple of starts, whatever. And then they're going to get back to it because they got to succeed. They got to make money. I get it. That's why I'm not like bashing them for that. I'm just like, like kind of like shrugging the shoulders more than pissed or disappointed. It's more like, really? But at the end of the day, like I know it's going to keep happening, which is why I'm not pissed about it. It's just like it is what it is. But it's just. We're still we've gone from cheating with technology, from catching up to this century, and then still players are resulting to days of the past of how players used to try to get a leg up, trying to get an advantage. So, but it's going to continue. But to round this segment off, let's finish the segment off talking about the magician, Javier Baez from the Chicago Cubs. Christian, I'm going to tell you something, man. I think that was the worst defensive play in MLB history.
I agree with you.
Against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates have been a laughingstock this year. I understand that. But you're professionals. All you got to do is when you feel the ground ball, you touch first base. Let me paint the picture a bit to our listeners. Javier Baez turned a ground out to third base into reaching on base, reaching second base on a throwing error from the catcher and a throwing error from the outfield. 2 runners scored on a ground out to third base to finish it should have been the third out of the inning.
Yes, 2 outs in the inning. Runner on third. It was the most crazy set of events I've ever seen on a baseball field. At my stats department where I work, we didn't even have a defensive misplay to label that kind of play. It was just horrifically bad. But when you have a ground ball to third base, right, that throws a little offline, you just tag first base. Especially, it wasn't like it was a close play. Javi Baez was out by a mile. And the first baseman decides to run and chase Javi Baez down the first base line. And Javi Baez, doing Javi Baez things, realizes that the runner on third, he can try to get him to score. So he continues, runs all the way back to basically home plate. Yeah. And that's where the first baseman sees the guy from third running home trying to score. And instead of just pushing Javi Baez out of the baseline 3 more steps past home plate or tagging him out, he throws the ball home. The runner is safe at home, and then Javi Baez looks, and there's no one covering first. Everyone had come in with the first baseman expecting him to tag him for the third out. Javi Baez gets to first. They throw it to first. It's an overthrow or a throw to no one there, and then Javi Baez gets to second.
Right.
Like, that is stuff you learn in Little League.
No,
I would fully expect my 6U travel team to pull that play off more effectively.
Just step on first base. Step on first base. That's one of the first things they teach you in baseball growing up. And then the Pirates looked like a Little League team trying to convert that play. I felt, I don't know who the head coach is for the Pittsburgh Pirates, the manager for that team, but whoever you are, I'm sorry. I am sorry. That must have been so brutal to see, so brutal to watch, and just so I'm like, oh gosh. Like, well, how do you approach your team after the game? Like, how do you talk about that? Like, as a coach, like, hey, don't worry, we'll get them next time. Let's just try to feel their ground ball. Guys, don't forget, step on first base. Remember that. Like, how do you...
I don't even know how you approach it, because in baseball, it's like a silent thing, right? Like, you're not supposed to point out to someone when they make a mistake like that, right?
Right.
And I think, like, you're supposed to be like you'll let the coach handle it, or you'll just be like... Because normally you know when you make a mistake, and I'm sure the first baseman was like, wow, that was just the most idiotic thing I could have done in any circumstance. Honestly, in my head, like if I was, a Pirates center fielder in that situation, my head would just be like, all right, it was nice knowing you, but have fun back in AAA. Like, just something like that, because I've never seen that before.
The Marlins have had some rough years, man. They've had a lot of rough years. A lot of, blowout losses, a lot of crazy games and whatnot, especially this year with that Conforto play earlier in the year. A lot of weird games over the past couple years for the Marlins. But nothing like that. They've suffered. They've been bad. They've had really bad records. But they have never, ever done a play like that. Javier Baez, he plays with one of those guys, another player plays with a lot of passion, a lot of heart, a lot of charisma, a lot of crazy slides, a lot of crazy plays, got a cannon of an arm. He's like a bull in a china closet. You can't tame him. He just runs free. So it's one of those funny, exciting plays. Javi Baez was also on that poll with Jazz Chisholm, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Ronald Acuna of who has the most swag in baseball. And Baez was actually fourth on that list. And Jazz was third, Tatis was first, and Acuna was second. That's why I said Jazz wasn't last place on that list. So that's a good thing. But Baez is still a big name in this game. It's good to see Jazz Chisholm being talked in the same light of Tatis, Acuna, Baez. That's a great sign to see. Guys, next segment, we're going to talk about some hot streaks in baseball, some rivalries starting to stir up a bit in the West Coast, the battle of the National League West. We're going to talk about that and more next segment. And guys, don't forget that Heat and NBA fans, catch Ira Winderman here exclusively at OnsideRadio.com with our accurate of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat reports. Catch Ira throughout the week at OnsideRadio.com, and when news breaks, basketball fans know Onside Radio is the place you get the insight you need.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
In July, another bare-knuckle battle goes down. July 16th as BYB Extreme showcases another fight card at Hard Rock Hollywood. As we get ready for another bare-knuckle battle, let's find out more about the fighters, like the Hialeah champ, Rene White Boy Rodriguez. Rene is one of the original backyard brawlers at Dada 5000's Greenhouse. The YouTube sensation stands 5'11", 185 pounds, and stands with an undefeated record of 13-0. White Boy is a YouTube sensation who represents Hialeah and is ready for the Trigon Challenge. The Trigon, the smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Rene's experience stretches from MMA to the backyard. Don't miss Rene White Boy Rodriguez as he faces Matt Delanoid in the semifinal round of the 185-pound championship tournament. Don't miss BYB 6 live at Hard Rock Hollywood July 16th. Watch it on stonefaces.tv. BYB is proudly sponsored by BMCHam.com. BMCHam.com. Your choice for gold and silver. Are you ready?
Higuain had a window of illusion here for Morgan. In for some strike. It's into the top corner. And Lewis Morgan has got a brace again.
The passion.
Goal! Captain Morgan! What a shot! What a blood! What a missile!
Onside Radio is prepared for another Inter Miami CF campaign. Catch the games. Go to our website and download the apps. On your home for La Rosa Negra, OnsideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InterMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Let's step back into the batter's box with Alex and Christian. To reach out to the guys, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back into Deep Into the Count on OnSideRadio.com.
And we're back deep in the count. I'm Alex Aguirre. I'm with my co-host Christian Chase. We're in the second hour here of today's Deep in the Count, the final Deep in the Count with Christian Chase and I. From now on, the show will continue with just me, and it'll just be from 1 to 2 now on Saturdays here at Onside Radio. So let's continue.
How do you even know that?
Oh, hey, that's first news to Abel now. He just found that out. Okay, well, yeah, we're 1 to 2 now. There you go. Christian.
Yep.
Christian, segment 6. In this segment, let's talk about the battle of the NL West. Dodgers, Padres. We knew those were the teams. We talked about the Giants prior to the season. We didn't expect this. They have the same record now, I believe, or close to the same record as the Dodgers. They
have the same exact record. They're both 31-20, and just to show how good these three teams have been, putting it in perspective for everyone, there are the top 4 teams in run differential in the major leagues. 3 of them are in this division, with the Padres being first, Dodgers being second, the White Sox being third, and the Giants being fourth. That is ridiculous. The three of the 4 top teams are in this division right now.
Yeah.
When's the last time we've seen something like this? I can't think of anything.
Maybe in the American League East with the Red Sox, Yankees, and maybe one of those years of the Toronto Blue Jays or the Rays. I feel like that's a type of division that we can see stuff like that. Mostly just been Red Sox and Yankees taking control of that division. Then the Rays and Orioles had a couple years in 14, 15, 16 around there. But for the most part, yeah, it's really rare to see 3 teams like this neck at neck. Is it gonna stay like this for the rest of the season? Who knows? It's a long season, and we talked about it a bit last episode. The Dodgers, and maybe now the Padres too, but specifically the Dodgers, they have the type of talent and the type of depth on that team to go on a stretch of winning 25 out of 25 games, win 20 of those. They have the caliber of pitching and a lineup that can definitely do that. The Padres have shown signs of that as well. They have the ability to go on a big run soon. The Giants, since they've been the big surprise, we don't know if they can do that. It's just a surprising start, and are they going to flame out? I don't know, because they got some big names in that lineup. A little bit over the hill now with Buster Posey, Evan Longoria, Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford. They still have a couple of those names from those World Series runs. They lost Bumgarner.
A little older. I don't know how.
Yeah.
The Giants are mind-boggling to me. I don't look at them and see
who do they got a
top-tier team, but they've defied the odds. I'll say that.
They defied the odds, but just to, put a cap on this, I still think it's Dodgers and Padres. Giants is a cute story. Do I think they, no, I don't think they can withstand. And I think I talked about this with Toast on his show last week. He asked me about that, comparing the Red Sox to the Giants, because no one expected the Red Sox to be this good as well. So, yeah, he gave me a pick. And I'm going to ask you the same question as well, Christian. He gave me a pick between the Red Sox and the Giants. Say that, these two are surprising teams to start the season this year. Which team, when it's all said and done, if you had to pick one out of 2, will make the postseason? And my pick was with the Red Sox. I feel like they can get a wild card spot better than the Giants can. What do you think?
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
I do think the Giants are a cute story, and I don't think they are as good as they've shown. But I do think they're a good team, one that will finish over 500. I don't think either the Red Sox or the Giants have a chance of winning their respective division. But I do think the Giants have a better chance of making the postseason as a wild card, and here's why. The NL East has nobody that can compete for a wild card spot, right? Especially with what we've seen so far. Neither of the wild cards will come out of the NL East. In the NL Central, you're either going to see the Cardinals or the Cubs win the division, and that other team is going to be fighting for a wild card spot. In the NL West, we know the Padres or Dodgers are going to win the division, and we know for sure the other one is going to make a wild card.
Right.
So the Giants only have to compete theoretically with either the Cardinals or the Cubs for a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one team, and they could or they couldn't. But when you're looking at the Red Sox, right, I'm still looking at the AL East, and I am seeing Tampa Bay winning the division. I am seeing the Yankees in second with a wild card spot, and then I am seeing in the AL Central we'll have the White Sox. But I don't think the Indians are good enough to get that wild card spot. But I think in the NL West, Houston will come out with that wild card spot. If not Houston, the A's. So I think the Giants have a better shot at a wild card because I think they're the better team than the Cubs or the Cardinals, respectively.
Right.
And they'll be able to find that second spot, whereas the Red Sox will be just pushed out by a little bit by the strength of the AL West and the AL East.
I agree with you, in the sense that the route to make the playoffs might be a little bit not better, but simpler or easier for the Giants compared to the Red Sox if we were to talk about the two. But you mentioned the Rays, Christian.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the Rays when we were talking a little bit about the American League East. Next segment, we're going to give our picks for each division, but let's break down the Rays here for a second. Rays won 13 in a row at 1 point, sit at 32-20 now. It's like another team, like I said, they're always there's always one team in that division always fighting with the Yankees and Red Sox. And this year it's the Rays. The Blue Jays aren't scrubs either. I'm not going to diminish them either. They got a lot of talented young pieces on that team. But the Rays, they're always there. A small market team, smart. They just find a way. They keep finding and plugging and playing these random players. They know how to scout. Their pitching is phenomenal. Rich Hill, they took a chance on Rich Hill, 40 years old lefty who throws 85 miles an hour. They got back Chris Archer, the familiar face with that organization. They know how to develop pitchers. They were kind of reminds me of how Miami and Miami Heat, to change sports a little bit, when they get a young talent, a no name, they know how to mold that person and fit their system, their style of play. And the Rays, they do something similar with their pitchers. No matter what age you are, if you come into our system, you come into our franchise, you're going to fit our mold. You're going to fit what we have planned for you. And they do things a little bit differently there with their pitching staff in terms of using the opener, how they use their bullpen. I'm happy for the Rays, defying the odds, kind of like the Oakland A's, small market team taking a big shot out of the big team. So I'm a fan of the Rays. They're doing well. I think they're going to be down. It's gonna be down to the end, I think, in this division with American League East with Rays, Yankees, and Red Sox. I'm not gonna tell my pick yet. That's for next segment. But the Rays are gonna be in the thick of things, and that's gonna be very interesting to see deep later on in the season.
Also, one note on the Rays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the trade earlier in the week that they made, trading their shortstop Willy Adames
to the Brewers.
To the Brewers for. I forget the other arm, but they got J.P. Frierson, one of the guys on that three-headed monster for the Brewers. He was the seventh inning guy who would then go into Devin Williams and then go into Josh Hader. People say that the Rays lost the trade, but in my opinion, they won it by a mile. I don't think the Brewers necessarily lost the trade. I think it was a win-win.
They needed help offensively, yeah.
But with the Rays pitching acumen to get J.P. Frierson, who will probably slot into an eighth inning, ninth inning role for them, is huge. And then they really don't lose much by losing Willy Adames, right? Because they have Wander Franco in the minors, one of the top prospects in MLB, and they have a wealth of shortstop prospects. So the Rays probably won that trade, especially if Wander Franco can be called up. I know he hasn't been called up yet. They called up their AAA shortstop. I'm forgetting his name, but they have that wealth, the wealth in the shortstop area of things, and now they're adding to the bullpen, which we know, even with non-big name players, is dangerous. So just, imagine getting that arm. So the Rays are in a really good spot, and we all forget that they, were 2 games away from being World Series champions last season. So it's exciting to see where they'll go.
They'll always be counted out because of their small market status. They're always going to be in the conversation because you can't ignore a team like that playing that well. But they're always going to be under the Yankees and the Red Sox in terms of popularity, in terms of talkability as well in the media. It's just the Yankees are always going to make the headlines for better or worse. It's just that's the way it is. The Rays, though, I agree with you in the sense that Willy Adames trade, that they won it. They rely more on their pitching and their bullpen. That's how they win games. They like to strategize. They like to strategize that way in terms of how we get to that bullpen and win this game. Let's shorten this game up a bit. Christian, as we close out this segment, going around the MLB, before we give our predictions next segment, let's close this off talking about the Cubs a little bit. Surprising at first. Kimbrel looks pretty good, but let's talk about Chris Bryant. What have you seen from him?
Yeah. He's playing like an MVP again. It's always crazy how, baseball works, right? You play like an MVP, they figure you out, and then, some guys fall off, or some guys figure it out again and they see a resurgence. And that's, this Chris Bryant story almost points me to Mike Trout and just show how amazing he is, that there's no dip. It's just consistency. That's phenomenal. But it's also phenomenal for the Cubs that Chris Bryant is back playing like an MVP. Craig Kimbrel's back pitching like a reliever of the year. And the rest of the Cubs look great. I've watched a few of the Cub games. I definitely, at the start of the season, thought they were going to be a 3-team in that division, maybe a 2-team to the Cardinals. And now I believe, they're in second place to the Cardinals, and it's very, very close. I think they're a game back, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's because these guys are playing how they played in 2016, and that the Jock Peterson addition, definitely underrated.
Yeah.
Overall the Cubs look good, and they're a team that definitely has a shot at that playoff berth. They even look better than they looked last year. So, it's definitely exciting to see what they'll be able to do. I think they'll be fighting with the Giants for that second wild card spot.
That's an interesting take. Hopefully we'll see that, and we'll see more competitive races as we get deeper into the season. Guys, we're closing out this segment, but don't worry, guys. Next segment, we're going to go division by division, giving you our predictions of the winners for each division, wild card picks, and the 2 teams in the World Series, and who's going to win it all. We're going to give our picks next segment. And guys, don't forget, start your morning every day at 8 a.m. with Toast Sports. Toast covers all the local sports stories while providing some great Miami Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Toast Sports from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. only at OnSideRadio.com.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast. May is here, which means hurricane season right around the corner. You need to get PGT custom windows and doors installed in your house so that you're fully protected when we get a big storm coming on through. For those windows, only one place to call. My buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. They've been doing it in South Florida for decades, and they will set you up with the best of the business. PGT custom windows and doors. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126 for B&T Windows and Doors.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split second, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling the disease today is even greater. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. United by hope, we can end breast cancer. Join our fight. Save lives.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit a Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
Every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., listen to Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard, brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world. Stout Bar features Clonakilty Whiskies, the world's best Irish whiskey.
Welcome back to Deep Into the Count. To reach out to the boys, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Alex and Christian.
That's right, we're back here deep in the count. Alex Aguirre here with my man Christian Chase. We're going to be giving our playoff predictions for this segment. Hour number 2 here deep in the count. Beautiful day here in Drive Pink Stadium. It's halftime right now for the Miami Heat game versus the Bucks. They have a lead, I think a 7-8 point lead. Good sign to see for the Heat. Leading at halftime for once in the series. That's great. But in this segment, guys, we're going to give our predictions for each division, wild card picks, and World Series picks and winners of the World Series. Christian and I, we do our prep for this for every week for our show. We do our, but for this segment specifically, we did not tell one another who we have picked for each division. So that's going to be interesting if there are any differences, any similarities, and who we think is going to be out on top in each division. So let's start off really quick here. Obviously, the NL East, we don't have a pick yet. We actually did mention that earlier in the show. This division is still up for grabs, in my opinion. Christian, I know you feel the same way. So I'm for this division, I am not giving a pick right now.
All right. I'm going to go with thought about it a little bit. I'm going to go with the Braves.
The Braves?
I think the Braves will win the division.
I mean, because okay, good. The Braves, if I'm going to pick, it's just hard because it's still close. It's very, congested right now in that division. The Braves, they haven't really shown signs of that. Like, they have the potential to do it. And if they do it and they just run away with this division in the second half of the season, I won't be surprised. So I'm not going to oh my God, the Braves ran away with. No. That was expected to start the season. So if that happens, it happens. But right now, it could be the Mets. It can be the Washington Nationals, like you said earlier on. They have the potential to do it, so that's why I haven't given an answer yet. There's some meaning behind it. I'm not just salty because I hate the Braves. I do hate the Braves, but I'm not just gonna. I didn't pick them because of that. I just don't know yet. And the Marlins still have a chance to be a wild card team. So there's a lot of different factors play into the NL East. Moving to the NL West, we did harp on this a bit last segment and earlier in the hour as well. The NL West is interesting as well. We got the Giants, Padres, and Dodgers fighting it out in the top of that division. But my pick is the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are going to win it.
I have the Dodgers as well.
Great.
I don't see. They're just the best team in baseball when they're healthy.
When they're healthy, and they got Pujols just for fun. Just say, hey, we can do it. Why not? They got Pujols. They got the pitching. They got the studs in the lineup. They're gonna go for another World Series. They're gonna fight for another World Series. I'm not surprised by that. But the Padres can be knocking on their door, make it interesting for them at the end of the season. But I still think the Dodgers are gonna be pulling that one out, another division title for them. And the NL Central, let's move there for a bit. We really haven't talked much about the NL Central in a while. Christian, who do you got?
We have not. I think my discussion and talking about them in last segment really changed my viewpoint. Mm-hmm. Just getting to, say it out loud and see, what's going on with them. I have the Cubbies winning the NL Central.
Okay. Wow. Okay. The Cubs. Okay. You know what? They're 28-22 right now, half a game back behind the Cardinals, 29-22. Cardinals are my pick, not because of where they are right now. I just think that the acquisition of Arenado, they got good pitching with Flaherty, Martinez. You know, the leadership of Yadier Molina. He's still one of the best catchers I think in the majors, even at his older age and and just all those years behind the plate. I know they slow you down a bit, but as a pitcher, from year 1, year 17, Yadier Molina, I don't care. I want him behind the plate. You know, he calls a great game, one of the best defensive catchers, and he still produces with his bat. So, Cardinals, they're my pick, but, the Cubs, like I said, they're right there too. They got names still. They lost some names, but they still got other names from that World Series team in 2016 that are still hanging around, like Baez. Bryant's having an MVP caliber season. The Brewers are interesting. They don't have Yelich. They're kind of down with some injuries. They still have good pitching. That bullpen is still good, even though they lost one of their arms to the Rays in a trade earlier in the week, as you mentioned, Christian. And the Reds, I feel bad for them in a way because they got some studs in that lineup. They got studs. They hit the ball hard out of the park. I get it. They play in a very hitters-friendly park in the Great American Ballpark. But, they need some more pitchers. They need some more pitchers for that lineup, and I think they'll be in better shape. They're still a young team. I'm not too worried about them, but Cardinals are my pick.
You don't have the Pirates winning the division?
That's sus. Come on now. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. 18-31.
Maybe in 10 years.
They're right on the cusp. They're right on the cusp of winning it all. I guarantee it. But let's move things over to the American League now. Let's start off in the Central. Let's start off in the American League Central here. Christian, we got the White Sox, Indians, Royals, Twins, Tigers. When we gave our preseason predictions, I was going with the Twins. I don't know if that's changed in your opinion. They look kind of crummy right now, 20-30. The White Sox look like they're running away with it. The Indians are pretty surprising. They've lost a lot of names. They still have Bieber, Jose Ramirez. They still got a couple of names, but they're not the same team as they were a few years ago. My pick has been wrong. My pick is wrong. I think the Twins, can they come out, wild card? Yeah, they're still early, but they got some ground to pick up. They're 9.5 back in the division, and in third place in that division, the Royals, they're 4.5 behind the Royals. So they got a lot of ground to pick up. There's still some time left, but my pick was wrong. My pick was wrong, and now by looking at it, obviously, I can go with the White Sox. It's an easy choice. But the Indians, you know what? The Indians, I feel like they're going to come out with it. I'm going to go with that one for that division. Just to play with that. I feel like the Indians always hang around. They always hang around. I feel like they're going to hang around again this year. The White Sox are going to falter a little bit.
I have the White Sox.
Yeah, the White Sox. I think you picked them as well.
I think they're a phenomenal team. I think they're definitely not giving credit for what they're doing. I think, their pitching is stupendous. I think their bats are good enough. And, I think the White Sox are the best team in that division.
I think, the White Sox on paper right now, they are. Indians are not too far behind. Would I be surprised if the White Sox just run away with it, create some distance from the Indians and Royals? No, I won't be surprised because they got studs in that rotation. They got the Yerminator. They got Jose Abreu. They got Tim Anderson. Yasmani Grandal, one of the best offensive catchers in the game. So they'll be all right. They're in good shape. They're in good shape in terms of talent. Closing out this segment, rounding things off here, the AL West. We still have our dark horses and our World Series picks, but closing out the division talk, the AL West. We got the A's, Astros, Mariners, Angels, and Rangers. I know
we also didn't do AL East, did we?
Well, we didn't do AL East, but we talked about it a bit. We can talk about the AL East too before we go with the AL West. You did pick the Yankees, I think, prior to the season starting, if I'm not mistaken, Christian. Are you still sticking with that pick at 29-22 with 2.5 behind the Rays in the division?
No. I have the Rays winning the division.
Did the Rays?
I'll talk about the Yankees in my wild card segment, but
okay.
I think the Rays are really good. I think the trade really sealed the deal in my eyes for them to be the winners of that division.
I feel like the Red Sox, they're playing well. I just feel like when we get deeper into the season, Yankees are going to catch up a bit on them. I think the Yankees have a little bit more talent, a little deeper in their roster as well, that can just propel them above the Red Sox. I feel like it's going to be the Yankees and the Rays going at it for the AL East. I still have the Yankees as my pick for this division.
Nice.
I still have the Yankees. I feel like it's still close. Red Sox, Yankees, and Rays are all separated by 2.5 games. That's nothing. That's nothing, especially this early in the season. And the Yankees, just like the Dodgers, have that potential to go off on a big run, winning 15 games in a 20-game span, something like that. They can do that. The Rays have done it already, winning 13 in a row, kicking ass everywhere they go pretty much. So, but the Yankees are still my pick. The Rays are going to be, breathing down their neck, though, for that top spot. Okay, now we'll get into the AL West. A's, Astros, Mariners, Angels, Rangers. You know what? I know I'm going to say it for you, Christian. Screw the Angels. Big disappointment. Big disappointment. We'll say we can't say other words right now because it's a shame that this team with the best player in the world and Mike Trout and probably the second best player in the world with Shohei Ohtani. I know Trout's hurt, but Ohtani's still there. Nothing. It's the same crap every year with this team.
Yeah.
So they're not my pick, obviously. Huge disappointment. Rangers, I get it. They're rebuilding. Astros they were my pick. The Astros were my pick right now, and they're 2.5 behind the A's. A's are, they weren't. I wasn't thinking about the A's as they're gonna be like way below the Astros. No, I wouldn't have been surprised if the A's were a wild card team this year. I just felt like the Astros had more talent on that team. I feel like but it was gonna be very close. I feel like that was still gonna be a very close race between the Astros and A's. Who do you have in the AL West?
I agree with you. I have the Astros winning the division. Best average in baseball, solid run differential, good arms, good bullpen, good, clearly amazing bats. I have the Astros winning. Okay,
so you have the Astros winning. I still have the Astros winning as well. They were my pick before. The A's, you know what? I like the A's. I've always been a fan of the Athletics. So if they win the division, I'll be like, okay, you know what? They've been right there with the Astros all season. So it is what it is. But I still have the Astros in that division. So now we got about a couple minutes left here, Christian. Let's be quick with this. We got 2 minutes left here, getting the fingers from Abel right now. So let's do wild card and World Series pick real quick here. Who do you have as the wild card teams in the National League and the American League? You can start off however you want.
All right. So National League, I have the Giants and the Padres as my wild card teams. I have the Padres beating the Giants going on. Mm-hmm. And then in the AL, I have the Yankees and the Athletics as my wild card teams. The Yankees beating the Athletics and moving on.
Okay.
What about you?
My wild card teams, unfortunately, I don't see anything from anyone from the NL East. So my wild card, other than the division leader, of course, but for the wild card teams, I am going with the Padres and the Cubs.
Okay.
The Padres and the Cubs. And then for the American League, I'm going to go with the Rays and the Indians.
Okay.
Rays and the Indians. And World Series pick, at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Yankees and Dodgers. That still hasn't changed for me, Christian. What about you?
Me neither. Me neither. Yankees, Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers in 5. Okay, well, that's the difference in me. I saw the Dodgers winning it, but it's going 7 games. Another classic 7-game series between the Dodgers and Yankees. Guys, those are our predictions, our updated predictions for this Major League Baseball season. Christian, we're going to be rounding off the final show here for you on Deep in the Count, your segment, your farewell segment. So we're going to be closing things off here. Guys, the fans support the teams, but buy the jerseys and tickets, but never get the love they deserve on sports radio. OnSiteRadio.com changes that with Miami sports music for the fans. It's a show driven by Stephen D, representing Miami sports fans around the world. Tune in every night from 6 to 7 p.m. As Stephen D and fans around the world drive the talk about your favorite South Florida sports teams. OnSiteRadio.com is dedicated to the Miami sports fan.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
Hey, it's Toast, and when I got PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house last year from B&T Windows and Doors, I knew that I was protecting my house when it came to hurricanes, but I was also investing in my house. My value went up. My home insurance cost went down. Yeah, I can now get more for my house when I sell it because I had PGT custom windows and doors installed courtesy of my buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. Just another reason why you should upgrade your house today. Give them a call, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126, B&T Windows and Doors.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
BYB Extreme Fighting presents BYB 6, Friday, July 16th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood. 10 bare-knuckle brawls in BYB's patented triangle ring, the Trigon. The smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Catch Renee Hialeah Champ Rodriguez against Mad MF Delanois, Christine Knuckles Stanley, and many more bare-knuckle brawlers. Beat Dada 5000. Commentators Mike Goldie Goldberg and Paulie Malignaggi. Friday, July 16th at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. BYB 6.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At ChaseRoofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. ChaseRoofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust ChaseRoofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
Welcome to the show with a couple of guys that love baseball more than life. It's pretty obvious these gents have no lives. Let's get back to Deep Into the Count. To step into the dugout, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Here's Alex and Chase.
Closing things out here in Deep in the Count. I'm Alex Aguirre. But enough about me anymore for this segment. Christian Chase, you have the floor. This is your farewell segment. Christian, what do you got going on for you after this? What's going on with Christian Chase's life?
Man. it sucks to leave the show. I love talking Marlins, but as I transition out of Pennsylvania to go back home, I only have a year of undergraduate left and a year of graduate as well before I go on to law school. And I think it's time that I, let go of some of these extracurriculars that I do that I really do love doing. It's always super fun on Saturday to sit here and just talk about something I love so much. But as we talked about, I got to focus on, on my LSAT and my, my preparation, getting my grades up. And then, with everything going back into person, my activities like speech and debate, I play competitive Pokemon, all of that goes back to in person. And with, balancing all that and getting back into person with those, I won't have time to do the show every weekend. And to be honest, I prefer doing things to the fullest extent. I give my all to everything I do.
Right.
And when I realize that I can't give my all to something, I try to let go of it, because in my eyes, it's all or nothing. And I feel like over the past, what has it been, 10, 11 weeks, 3 months, 4 months at this point, I've given really all I can to this show. Alex, you've given me such an amazing opportunity just to talk Marlins every weekend, and for that I'm extremely grateful. And I'm sorry I gotta dip, but It's been a hell of a ride, something I've enjoyed a lot, something that I really will take with me. It's just cool, man. I get to, when people ask what I do for fun, I'm like, yeah, on Saturdays I talk about the Marlins for 2 hours, and it's going to be not fun to not have that anymore, but I know I'm going on to do some important things for my life, and I'm really, really excited.
Exactly. And you're always welcome to come back here at Onside Radio, be a guest on the show, call in, talk a little Marlins whenever you got free time. We'll always welcome you back here, Christian. We appreciate you. You've been an amazing co-host. Everyone here at Onside Radio appreciates you, man. And that's going to do it for today here at Onside Radio. Like I said before, the show will be now on Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. And that's pretty much it, guys. So, guys, don't forget that Onside Radio understands gaming is a big part of the sports landscape. That's why every day we keep you updated with some of the latest gaming news with Onside Radio's E-Minute, hosted by Toast, Kai, and Michael Christian. If you miss it, it's podcasted daily. Search Onside Radio on all platforms, subscribe, rate, and review. OnsideRadio.com, the station gamers call home. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
Before we leave, Christian, I would like to say it was an honor working with you. It was a great pleasure working with you, even though I only seen you once. And I hope everything goes great with your future career. And
Thank
I would
you.
like to say, give you a special song just for you.
Let's all say goodbye in a fun, silly way. It's how we end a happy day. Now stop, 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 and clap, clap, clap. Repeat after me in this goodbye rap. See you later, alligator. See you later, alligator. Got a truck, baby duck. Got a truck, baby duck. In a shape, rattlesnake. In a shape, rattlesnake. Outta here, reindeer. Outta here, reindeer. Let's all say goodbye.
Follow us on social media at
Wow.
Onside Radio.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyasDental.com.
These are unprecedented times. Challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors. But we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live. Company 90 in Pompano Beach. Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at visit them at Danger.
Looking for a change from the everyday restaurant? Then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer. Price on their and you'll and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant or call them for reservations at 955-777. It's 954-545-7565. We'll see you at Zagat Rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
Care how you win it. You can drop it. You can trade for it. Just win, baby.
The Onside Zone.
You're not Aladdin rubbing the lamp and then Will Smith comes out and you ask him, hey, fix our dolphin problems. And there he goes. No, I'm sorry. It'd be nice if it was that easy, but it's not.
The Onside Sports 411 That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a big O.
All right. All righty. Good afternoon. It is for a couple of time to have some fun. Do we got the tube going on here? Because I don't see the tube firing off. Welcome aboard. It is a beautiful Friday. It's even more beautiful for me personally because, you know, I'm back doing what I love to do. Obviously, been doing this for a long, long time, and so it's and thank you to everybody, and social media, phone calls and emails and LinkedIn, and you know, wherever I went on social media, it seemed like I had somebody reaching out and giving us some love, and I really appreciate that immensely. I really do. So thank you all out there for supporting us on the show and giving us the support. It's a you know, because through a surgery. And, you know, the screwed up part about the surgery is that you're sitting there, you got the IV in you, right? And then the nurse comes with the needle and she puts in the anesthesia. And then she just, you know, puts in and then you're just talking, and then eventually you are out. And then you don't know what the hell happened. And you woke up. Hey, you're the operating where it's like actually, what's it called? You know, just in the recovery room, in other words, you know, so it's just, it's kind of funny to see the like, hey, it's over. They did it already. Oh, really? I'm ready to go. You know, that kind of stuff. And so, strange, good. But I can't overall. So I appreciate all of you out there. I feel good. I haven't felt bad at no point whatsoever that I feel bad throughout the process. I got to be honest with you. It's just a matter of having something that kind of gets in your way of doing your job. Basically, is what's. So I think we're gonna have to here on the left side now. Put a little Clonakilty on the right side. Is that what we got to do? We got to go this way? I don't know, like that? Is that how we're going to do it? Get a little Clonakilty whiskey in there? Right? Right there? Get it at stout? Oh, look at you. Okay, I see. Okay, all right. So there we go. A little Clonakilty. Okay. All right. I will say this. This whiskey, the single grain, it has a little green label on it. Amazing. I mean, they're all good, but the single grain was my favorite one out of all of it. So there you go. Oh, okay. So I got to where we that's where we got to do it. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now I think we got it right? Is it right now? There we go. We gotta present it, man. Give us a little presentation out there. NorCal says, I'm really happy you're back and that they didn't change your voice. Puff, puff, give. A little more this. All right. We're growing, everyone. Appreciate you all out there as always. Gus says, give me some whiskey. Oh, we actually, I believe we might be giving away some whiskey. I think that's coming, actually. I think we might be able to give away some whiskey. There we go. There's a little Clonakilty in the picture. I like it. Anyway. So I'm back. I'm good. We'll do 2 hours today. We'll do 2 hours all next week. He's into it. He knows me. So he goes, hey, I know you get all emotional on air sometimes and all that. Relax. Take it easy. So, and of course, it doesn't help that I got to talk about the Heat today after they lose to the Bucks 113-84. Now, look, when we talk about this Heat team, there's a lot of things to talk about. Now. I'm not going on. They were more than a first-round exit. Now, I thought the same thing last year. Last year, I was dead wrong because the team went on a run that nobody ever expected, and they got to the finals, which I would have never picked. But one of the reasons why I didn't think of much of them last year was because for a large stretch of the season, they were barely over 500. 2 magical long, ugly, 500. And then they went on the bubble run. And it was a miracle. And it was a fluke. And Tyler Hero's a fluke. And Goran Dragic. And Rookie. And things went their way. Hell, Jay Crowder was hitting three-pointers until towards the end. Then he became Jay Crowder. But just so many things. And we have gotten into this really nasty habit as Heat fans, front office, and us, whatever. To this crap. 31-10 with a bunch of, cast-offs and whatever, and we think the following year, because I was suckered to it too. Oh, no, they're going to be pretty good, dude. They went 31-10 to finish the season. They almost made the playoffs. Yeah, bring the team back. Yeah, man. Give them a chance. No, man. They are what they are. And then last year, Tyler Hero, Taco Tuesday, big fat head, all that stuff. And the kid didn't work to become better this season. And he was a disappointment this season. And the other thing about this Heat team is they don't play defense, man. I don't care what stats and all that stuff say. Goran Dragic can't defend. Tyler Hero can't defend. Kendrick. Duncan Robinson's best. Tug on the shirt as you're trying to pass him by. What? He tries to get in your way. He's not a defender. Okay? We've seen people that can defend in this franchise. None of these cats can defend. And when you have that many people on the perimeter that can't defend, you're screwed. That's why you need healthy. Stay healthy. Avery Bradley, but Avery Bradley's already in his 30s and was broken down this year, so you couldn't use him. The guys that could actually defend couldn't stay healthy. And Goran Dragic is like a time bomb. Because the next injury is coming at one point or another. And you're hoping that he finds the same magic from last year. Last year was last. Now, into it. The Heat front office cannot continue to get suckered into it. They got suckered with 31-20. Not only did they bring them back, they gave all those guys those long contracts. And when you look at this bunch, there's not really much to build on here. And let me tell you, the Bam Adebayo pressure is a 10 because next year max money. He needs to start playing. I mean, every time they showed Alonzo Mourning, tell me you did not want to climb into the mind of Alonzo Mourning at that moment. Tell me you did not want to get into his brain and hear what he's saying. Because you know that Alonzo Mourning was disgusted with what he was watching. Yesterday, defensive team 15 years. Some guy that was butthurt was like, come on, dude, they had Michael Beasley on one of the teams. I go, okay, dude, would you make you happy if I say second worst team in the last 15 years? It's a bad defensive team. You cannot have that many players on the perimeter in a shooting league that can't play defense. And we've watched, and the po in years past, we know what guys can play. Jimmy Butler can play defense. Can Iguodala help you out? Of course, but he's old. He's not going to be able to play a lot of minutes. He's savvy. He'll help you here or there, but it's not a guy you can count on every night for 25, 35 minutes. And that's what they need. And at this point, never expect Ty good defensively, because I don't see it now. So if I don't see it now, how are you going to become that in the future? I got to see dog in you right now. And I didn't even see dog in him in offense. Now I'm going to ask him to play defense? That doesn't make any sense. That's why I didn't have a lot of hope for this team. Hell, I thought, you know that now that you know the deeper run in the NBA playoffs or the NHL playoffs, the Panthers or the Heat. Alex, the Panthers won 2 games. The Heat aren't winning. When we had that round, I don't know how much everybody answered. I think most answered Heat. I answered Panthers. And you know what? I was right. And why? Because I didn't expect more than the first round. I didn't think this team was more. See, I'm not sitting here surprised. There's a lot of Heat fans right now, or Heat zombies. That's what I got to call them, because again, we and you really, and then you want to start using stats to like make your man. Let me tell you something. I've been at this a long time. I can get stats and make them to help my argument and to hurt my argument. Stats, you can twist them however you want to twist them. I look at the eye test, and the eye test tells me Duncan Robinson will never Tyler defender be a good defender, and Goran Dragic has never played defense in his entire life. Tim Hardaway did not play defense coming out of Golden State. Run TMC, all that good stuff. He gets here, and all of a sudden he's getting in passing lanes and getting steals. Not that one-on-one Tim Hardaway was going to stop anybody, but turnovers. He would take charges. You know, he did some things that he bettered himself as a player on the defensive side of the court. And look, I'm not here to blame Spo or anything like that. Spo was handed this deck of cards. It is what it is. Now you've got to try to fix it. I don't know how you do, because you're probably, and we'll talk to Ira Winderman at the bottom of the hour here, and we'll get his thoughts on what he feels is going on with this team and what their future is like. But to me, it's just such a flawed team. And there were other circumstances. And if you tell me next year you're going to try to bring back Oladipo, you're gonna off again. 31-10. You fooled yourself. Last year, bubble run. You fooled yourself. Oladipo can't stay healthy. You're really going to bring him back? And I've already told you, we had the round table also about this. Okay? And I told you I'd give him the exemption. Now, as I've told you the last few weeks, I'd give him half the exemption. You don't give that guy multi-year deals. You don't give him. He can't stay healthy. Count on Oladipo to bail you out? That doesn't make any sense. And to me, that's the real problem here. With everything going on, that's the real problem here. That this Heat team is poorly built. And the funny part is even come part about it. Because you're used to a tough-minded, hard-nosed defensive team. And I get it, this is an offensive league, but that's never stopped this franchise from having players that are willing to play the other side of the court. And that's your problem. And when you're watching all these players just, tear you up from Forbes to DiVincenzo, of course, honest. Name it. Middleton, it's just, it puts you, and obviously Holiday, it's just, and they were willing to play more defense than Miami. Last year was a total fluke. It's the sad part is they legitimately had a shot at the title because to play the Bam, who always gets injured. So the Heat have to start looking in the mirror this offseason. And they have to make some really tough decisions with some of their players. And some of those players are going to have to say, Yeah, you help us in some areas, but you don't help us in all the areas. You don't bring enough balance, and that's the problem. And here's the thing. Team defense to offense, which is something that Heat teams have done for many years under Riley or under Spo, that they can play defense to then generate offense with turnovers and those kind of things and fast break points. They don't do that now because they're not good enough defensively. So the best defense for the Heat is a great offense. And so if Tyler doesn't come out and can done. They can't slow the game down. They can't steal the ball from people. They can't get easier baskets. That's not who they are. I mean, I'm just sorry. That's just not who they are. And so I need to see more mental toughness from these kind of guys. If you're going to keep any of these guys around, they need to learn to be a lot tougher than what they are. That I've watched. And what I've watched in this first round, this is not Heat. This is not the Heat team, the kind of Heat team that I'm used to. Okay? The stuff that I'm used to under Riley and Spo, that's not what I'm watching right now. And that's a major problem. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Last night, by the way, 7-9, fight night, baby. Alex Donald, James Walker. You out fight night. It's sports, from UFC to boxing to bare knuckle brawling. Alex and James provide combat sports fans the insight and interviews they crave. Tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for Fight Night with Alex Donald and James Walker. Search and subscribe to the podcast by searching Fight Night on the home for combat sports, OnSideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O. You can join us. 888 23. That's 888-441-4623.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business 5-444-43-333. 433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split-second moment in time, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling is even great. And that's why Susan G. Komen leans in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. Fighting breast cancer takes funding for research to discover the next new treatment, providing access to quality and affordable health care, and people willing to take action by raising funds to advocate. We can end breast cancer. Join our fight. Save lives.
Howdy, stranger.
Didn't this used to be Radio Town?
Yes, sir. It was Miami Sports Radio Town one time.
Who in the hell are these cowboys I never saw?
We don't know who these people are, riding in from other town, to host an empty, trying to sports.
That ain't good, stranger. Could you tell me how this happened?
Well, it started when one corporation bought another, and they got rid of the good management and brought in a bunch of bumbling idiots and started firing all the local ranchers and replacing them one by one with these strangers from out of town.
I've heard that story before. Static and tumbleweeds. I'm moving on.
For sports. Inside Radio.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated, and it can last a lifetime with a condition. It may accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. For child's doctor screening and ADHD.com for additional information. That's more to ADHD.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Created to help home with whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not a fans. Miami CF tickets for more information.
My daughter is Marina. Marina has a rare form of children's eye cancer, retinoblastoma. Her doctor sent us to a specialist, and then the specialist sent us to St. Jude. Within the first couple weeks of us getting here, I was just so scared. I think the reality just hit me, and it kind of hit me all at once. I had started to cry, and her doctor came in, Dr. Brennan came in, and just didn't even say anything. And literally sobbing. And she just said, "It's gonna be okay. We don't have to worry anymore. The treatment worked, and we've saved her eye." This place has been such a blessing for us. There's no way we could have paid for treatment back home if we had to. We can come here and we can just solely focus on taking care of her and helping her heal.
Finding children. StJude.org.
Need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient? There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet. 305-424-8547. 424-8547. You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen ever. Wounded Warrior Project goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke back to the emergency room. 2 nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy to tell people not to smoke around your kids.
4 out of 10 U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants free help to quit smoking, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
If you're a Miami sports fan and go to Miami fan One-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and shop.
Listen to anywhere by downloading the MyTuner Radio app in your app store, or go to mytunerradio.com on your web browser. OnSideRadio.com. South Florida sports leader.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking. Thought would work better. I started. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. 16-year-old. A picture of reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Within. Enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2020 member. Benefits to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
First rebound of the game for Adebayo. Beats. Big. And the rebound comes down to Jimmy Butler. First rebound of game 3 for Jimmy. Butler from mid-range. That's the spot. John, if you can't get all the way to the basket, Holiday, 7 points early on for Milwaukee. They're ahead by 13. Jimmy buries a triple. Jimmy Butler in a steal, knocked it away. Bam. That's nuts. Robinson's 0 for 3. Dragic 0 for 5. Hero 1 for 5. Dedmon 1 for 4. It has been a team-wide problem. Butler for 3. Kaboom. Jimmy Butler beat down by 17. 4:18 to go in the first half. Jimmy against Holiday. To the basket for the score on Lopez. Butler. This way is really sees these and knows what's coming before it gets there. Butler hits the runner over the top of Lopez.
I thought our energy was really good, particularly in the first half. We were really competing. Our guys laid it out there, and in many ways, I thought just the way the game was being played, competing in that first our wheelhouse than their wheelhouse. But we were really struggling to put some points on the board. And we were probably fortunate that it was only 13 at halftime. But that was, I think, from our competitiveness defensively, kept us in it. But but then, we just weren't able to generate enough, offense, to get over the hump.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. There you go. That's Spo, a disappointed head coach after a rough outing last night, dropping to 3-0 in this series as the Bucks are one win away from advancing. Heat lose 113-84. Really disappointing. Dougie Fresh on the YouTube tripped me out. He says, what happens first? The Heat becomes a defensive-minded team. The rebirth of Highlight. Finns have a 1,000-yard rusher. In 3D. Yeah, I think is the Heat. This Heat team becoming a defensive-minded team. It's bad. It was bad. Now, we always have the round table every day. We dish it out for all of the hosts to tackle, and today obviously will be about the Miami Heat. What disappointed you most about the Heat loss last night? Is there someone to blame, or was this half of last year? Now, I've been they were overrated coming off the bubble run. I really believe that because I was wrong last year, and I thought, they weren't that good last year anyways. And this year kind of proved what I thought of them last year. And they didn't have the bubble. They didn't have the same circumstances. They didn't get on that lucky run. And nobody knew who the hell Duncan Robinson was. And nobody knew who Tyler Hero was. And now they know who they are. And some attention. And those guys offensively or defensively. Think about it yesterday. Tyler Hero, 4 of 10, 1 of 5 from three-point range. Kendrick Nunn, 2 of 4, 0 of 1, 4 points in 17 minutes. Duncan Robinson went 1 of 6, 0 of 4 from three-point range in 24 minutes. And the Dragon was 3 of 14, 2 of 6, 8 points in the game. You're not getting anywhere like that. You got to bring it every night. And like I said, this is the kind of team that their best defense is their offense. They don't have if then be able to beat you because they don't have the kind of defense to keep people down, to take the ball away. And that's what I am more disappointed at the disposition of this team. The lack of spine. And let me tell you something, it goes also at the top. Bam Adebayo, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and next player has money. And I know it starts next year, but listen, if you're a professional, you should have been honored with that contract. Now you need to go out there and take it to the next level, and you failed. And you failed miserably. And so Bam Adebayo's got to pick it up. And to me, that's really what. It wasn't a lack of trying. Those guys were trying last night. I'm going to pick on. I did with the Panther. I got to a point where I said, enough, dude. They're just wussies. They're great at taking a beating. Yeah, that's fantastic. You're tough enough to take a beating, but you don't deliver one. And at least in the Tampa series, you saw they were probably the more physical team in that series at times. And they weren't taking any shit from anybody. And that's why I'm more pumped up about the Panther. It's future, right. Make made. You got to find a team with a spine, bro. Not a team that's soft like this league is. You got to be tougher than that. They showed us some grit, some toughness last year. But then again, nobody knew who they were. Nobody gave them any respect, and they were able to surprise people. Come on. Yeah, I know what happened in the last series. That's not going to happen. Better than those guys. We're not letting these guys get off the hook. We're going to pay attention to them right from the get-go. And that's exactly what they did. This team has got to find a spine. It's got to become more of a defensive-minded group. Now, I don't know. We'll talk to Ira in the next segment. I don't know if you're stuck with all these guys. But if you are, it's not a good thing. That's the problem. How do you fix? How do you make players that aren't defensive-minded players play defense? I know it's an offensive league, but you're going to have to stop people sometime. And that's the problem with the Miami Heat. And that's where I'm disappointed. That's our round table.
Ira Winderman is next.
Oh, it's a poor touch there from Sosa. Higuain is in. Gonzalo Higuain onto his left. Gonzalo Higuain has gone. Election it did. And after consultation with the assistant, it will indeed be a corner.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split-second moment in time, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling the disease today is even greater. And that's Susan. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. Fighting breast cancer takes funding for research to discover the next new treatment, providing access to quality and affordable health care, and people willing to take action by raising funds and raising their voice to add. Week. Join our fight. Save lives.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available